Good morning and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome here to sunny Stockholm. It's actually really nice weather. This was a totally unplanned stream. If you followed the stream yesterday, we flew here from Norway yesterday, and I then ended up having to do some testing and things in the sim last night, which went on quite late. And then I jumped in it this morning to carry on. I thought, wow, the weather looks so nice. Why not? Let's get the right screen. Here we go. Why not fly to Finland? And that's exactly what we're going to do. That's exactly what we're going to do. I will show you with the power of magic. There we go. Look at that. Amazing, isn't it? Amazing. We're going to be flying from Bromma down here, and we're going to be flying all the way over here to Helsinki. Into Vantaa. I would love to know how to pronounce that properly. If there are any Finns joining the stream, I would love to know how to pronounce that as it should be. I have been to Helsinki, been a couple of times with work. Lovely place, really nice people as well. I do like the Finns. They certainly know how to drink, that's for sure. What was it? Blimey. Salmiakki Kosu. Yeah. Had a bad night with that. Anyway, that's what we're going to do. The weather here in Stockholm is really nice. The weather over in Finland is looking a little bit more cloudy. But it's a nice little flight. We've got a SID, we've got a star, which is all good because if you follow the channel, then you know this isn't a video or a stream to show you how it's done. This is me practicing and me learning. I don't do a lot of this kind of flying. I fly warbirds and I fly helicopters mainly. I don't do a lot of this IFR and ATC and flying procedures and all that kind of stuff. But it's a type of flying and a skill set that I want to at least know what the hell I'm doing. So that's the idea of this, and it's a nice chilled out Sunday morning flight. Once we get up top, plenty of time to chat and all that sort of thing. So yeah, should be good. Should be good. Okay, so this is of course the A2A Aerostar. By the way, if you are interested, on the stream yesterday we started a giveaway competition, which is actually still running. It's still running until 2100 hours Zulu tonight. So if you want to get on that competition and win a chance of, have a chance of winning one of 3 shiny new Aerostars, then pop onto that video. It's the video where we flew over here to Stockholm from Bergen, Norway. And you don't have to watch the whole thing if you want to. Well, you should do. You should do, because it's like culture, innit? But if you just want to skip to the end of it, I can't believe I just said that. Then the competition announcement is towards the end, and then yeah, you've got a chance of possibly winning one, because it is a superb aircraft. There's no doubt about it. Okay, so what do I need to do? I need to turn on my head tracking so I can actually see what I'm doing properly. And quick check of the chat. Michael, how you doing? Sparky, good to see you, mate. Sandman, Adrian, Tawny, how are you doing? Tawny is flying the Spitfire in Greece. I'm a little bit envious, although I have to say I am, and it's one of the reasons why I'm flying the Aerostar this morning. I'm getting a little bit addicted to this aircraft. I think also the fact that I'm not really 100% comfortable and I'm still making mistakes makes me want to come back to it. Does that make sense? You know, when it's that old thing, it's boring if it's easy, so I like to stretch myself a little bit. Okay, so we'll do a quick lights check. Beacon, strobe, nav, landing lights on, everything else is off. That's a good, just checking the old parking brake is engaged. Don't want the Aerostar running away from me and me chasing it across Stockholm Airport, and they're saying, oh, it's that crazy British again. What kind of accent was that, Rob? I've no idea, but I tell you one thing, it was not a Swedish accent. There we go, that's all good. So our tail light is, I just want to show you the detail on this tail light, by the way. Look at that. It's got the branding on the tail light and the little PCB there. Incredible. Right, light on the top is good. And quick round here. Starboard nav and strobe is good. And we already checked that, so that's absolutely fine. And then there we go, we've got landing lights on. Blinded by the light. There we go. Cue Bruce Springsteen. I don't even know if that's a Bruce Springsteen song. I think it is. Someone's nicked my Pitot cover, which is a bit annoying. But anyway, so we don't have to remove that today. So we'll jump back in and let's have all the lights off. And let's have the, we'll just dump the flap a little bit. Now, something you will notice, the people that joined the stream yesterday or previous streams, we actually today have a brand new Aerostar, because I did what you should never do as a simmer, which is started fiddling about with files and all that sort of thing last night. I was trying to troubleshoot. You may remember on the stream, I'm going to talk to you as I'm doing the walk around, so just bear with me. That's alright. You may remember on the stream, as we came into Stockholm, we had a bit of an issue with the HSI jamming on north for no apparent reason. And I tried to, that's all good, I tried to mimic it. Oh, hang on a minute. I tried to mimic it, tried to repeat it, and it kept doing it in round about the same place, which was really odd and made absolutely no sense whatsoever. But I could repeat it. I could reproduce it. That's the technical term, isn't it? You can tell it's Sunday morning. I could reproduce it in a scientific and controlled manner, and I thought that's really odd, And those lovely people at A2A knew that it wasn't their aircraft. Not so good. So I had a look around. I couldn't really fathom it out. It made no logical sense, but it felt very much like, you know how quite often in flight sims you have those kind of weird and wonderful things that make absolutely no sense at all. Let's just check for any Swedish squirrels. No squirrels. Excellent. It kind of felt like that. It didn't feel like there was anything logical about it. So I... lovely jobs. That's all good. Trying to concentrate on my walk around. I just removed all the files that I had for the Aerostar and reinstalled it, and that solved the problem. So I think with all the kind of beta versions that I've had and all the messing about I've done with playing with different things with it, I probably had got some old nasty files hanging around that broke it. So it's working fine now, but it is a brand new aircraft. But I'm cool with that. I mean, one of the great things about A2A Accu-Sim, of course, is the persistence, and that means obviously the aircraft will be the same as when you left it, and you build up hours in it, and it ages, and you've got wear and tear. You know, A2A do simulators for the American military and government organisations, so this isn't your kind of normal simulated stuff. This is very highly detailed, highly realistic, and also there are consequences and even quinsequences should you not show due diligence and check all your bits and bobs. I'm getting mesmerised by the fuel sample. I forgot what I was talking about. Yes, I know what I was saying. So yeah, what I am going to do is when I get back to Old Blighty after doing this kind of mini tour that I'm doing, I'm going to see what the repainters have been up to. Going to find a really nice repaint, buy myself a new Aerostar, and then we can get going. Oh, let's quickly check the static ports. Yeah, they're good, and otherwise we are good to go. Okay, quick check of the chat. Stand by. There we go. Quick check of the chat. Blimey, there's a lot to chat. It is an amazing aircraft, Tawny. I love the Spitfire. I cannot wait for the Flying Iron version 2 that's coming out for 2024. Cannot wait. Michael, T6 Texan. Oh, don't get me started. Michael, did you ever fly the A2A Texan? Oh, the T6 is just a work of art, and I've been lucky enough to go up in the real thing. It is very, very nice. The crowd, do they work on the engine sounds? Just listen to a video over 600 and I think the sounds are still a bit off. No, I thought the sounds are pretty good, and they actually... I don't know if they recorded these from the Aerostar that they own, because it's not working at the moment, is the nicest way of putting it, but no, it looked alright. Yeah, Tawny, that's actually a good point. When we started the stream yesterday, I don't know if it's my stream that you were looking at or someone else's video, but the engine sounds were a little quiet to start off with, and then we had the noise cancelling headset, and the noise cancelling headset will make a big difference to the sounds, to the engine sounds. Tawny, do we have an ETA for that? No, we don't, unfortunately. I wish. Cool. Okay, Michael. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I did a video of oh, this is back in the P3D days. I flew the T6 on a few videos, and the owner of a real T6 in the UK, Wacky Wabbit, Andy is his name, contacted me and said you should fly my aeroplane, and luckily there was a repaint of it which had been done by a couple of chaps who know what they're doing, Martin Pengelly and Matt, and next thing I knew I got invited to Duxford and I flew in the real thing, which was nice. There's a video on the channel if anyone would like to look at it. There is a video of that flight on the channel. It starts off with a bit of P3D, but then it goes into the actual flight and some cockpit video and that kind of thing, so it's all good. Jep, how are you doing, mate? I hope all is good with you. Okay, so this is where the bit where I have to try and concentrate a little bit, folks. So I'm going to be very rude and ignore you in the chat. I'm just checking. Yeah, the chocks are removed because I was messing about with it before. While I've been waiting for you, I've been walking around the aircraft, drinking tea, talking to the locals, with them wondering, who is this crazy guy? And he doesn't speak a word of Swedish. Right. Focus. Okay, so we need to... I'm going to start the engines first. No, let's get a bit of atmosphere going. So I'm going to start Beyond ATC. I should say Beyond ATC has a strange quirk, and for some reason it's opened. I've got 3 screens here, and it's opened up across 3 of them, like all of them. Yeah, Beyond ATC has got a strange quirk of it will
ATC connected.
It will it ignores the fact your radio is off, so you'll hear ATC even though your radio is off. So I tend to kind of leave it to the last minute, but anyway, let's get that loaded up. Good to hear it, Jep. That's all we can do, mate. Slog on. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick check of that. Yeah, we are all connected up, and we are on ramp 63. So let me just lock that off so I'm not breaking your neck. There we go. Standard issue, A4 paper. And I put that on top of me fulcrum yoke so I can write things on it because it's quite important. So what's that? ATIS is 122.455. So I'll need that once we get going. Okay. Pitot heat off. Don't know how that got on. That's interesting. Okay. Right, let's get the checklist up because that's always a good place to start. There we go. You're sitting there now. All right, comfortable. At some point, I do believe you'll actually be able to see the A2A passengers and that sort of thing. So let's go back here. So quite strong winds today. Looking at the flight plan, it thinks we're going to have a 15 knot headwind on takeoff. But we've got 22 knots at the moment, so it's a little bit spicy. Don't know why I said it like that. Checklists, pre-flight, done. Passengers, oi, sit down, shut up, watch the show. Seatbelt secured. Yes, of course. You secure, co-pilot cat. Yeah, she's just snoring. Cabin door closed and locked. Yes, battery ignition is off and off and off. Gear is down, and I'm checking my physical gear lever as well, just in case. Flaps I'm going to put in the up position here. Brakes test for firm. Very firm, thank you. No sniggering at the back. Flight controls. Come here. Come here. Let's just move. Whoa. There we go. Thank you. Okay, interesting. Let's try. Oh, I know what it is. It's because that. See, this is attention to detail. Here's me, like a gorilla, trying to work a harpsichord, clicking on that, and nothing's happening. But if I move this out the way, a bit more, it comes back. They've simulated the fact that this can get in the way of that. Unbelievable. Well, if they make stuff for the military, then you know it's going to be good, hey? Where do we get to? Where do we get to? Well, before I started faffing about with that. Brakes test for firm, flight controls free. That's right, I wanted to do that, didn't I? Quick check of that. And because I've reinstalled the aircraft, this is quite important because you never know, especially with the MSFS 2024 control system, you never quite know when it's going to throw you a wobbly. So we'll get rid of that now. Switches all off. Off. That's all off. Yep, that's good. Hydraulic shut-off is open. Fuel check. Hang on a minute. We've jumped ahead a bit here. Parking brake is, yep, switch is all off. Now we can have the battery on. We're going to put the beacon as well, because we're going to start whapping things around a bit. Check the fuel now and everything's good. Low fuel warning is off. Circuit breakers are all in, and this is Accu-Sim, and these are simulated, so you've got to be careful. One circuit breaker can make it very nasty. And right, altimeter and clock set. Well, the clock is correct for local time, and we'll do the altimeter once we get the ATIS. So we are good to go. Right, engine start. So prop is fully forward, 2 of them. Mixture is idle cut off. Yeah, oh, steady on. There we go. We're not flying the King Air. And throttle is cracked. I tend to find with the Aerostar, cracking it a little bit more than you think is quite a good thing. Battery is already on. Low fuel warning is out. Fuel select is cycle and listen. So, oh, let me just quickly say, if you if the engine sounds are drowning out what I'm saying, please do shout out in the chat. Hopefully we got the balance perfect last night, so that shouldn't be an issue. But do let me know. Don't wait until the end of the stream to tell me that you can't hear what I was saying. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a good thing, but we'll see. Okay, so where did I get to? Blah, blah, blah. So fuel selector, cycle and listen. Yeah, I was going to say, listen to this. Love that. The little sound of the actuators coming in. Right, that's good to go. And now we're going to start the engine. So we'll start with right first. So the procedure is fuel boost on. We have a look at here. We open the mixture. We count to 3. We close the mixture again. We start as soon as it fires. Mixture fully rich. We stabilize to 1000 RPM, and then we have the fuel boost off. Easy peasy. But as this is Accu-Sim, you see the windows are misting up from the sheer fear of what's about to happen. Don't worry, everything's going to be fine. Okay, so fuel boost on. 1, 2, 3. Come on, baby. There we go. Sometimes it helps, by the way, as you start it. If you just introduce a little bit of mixture as you're going, not straight away, but if it feels like it's not going to start straight away, just introduce a little bit of mixture and then she'll fire. There we go, that's stabilised, and we can now have fuel boost off and right alternator on and start whizzing some electrons. So the same with the left engine now, or should I say port. So looking over here, fuel boost on, indicators there, 1, 2, 3, and back, and boof. There we go, all good. And back, and all our engine instruments are playing ball. Right, so let's now have left alternator on. We can now fuel boost off, and we can bring the engines back. Oh, sorry, mixture back a little bit just to lean it on the ground. So that's all good. Happy with that. Happy with the instrumentation there. Fine, fine, fine. So warm up and run up. So we're warming up at 1000 RPM, which is what we're doing. Engine instruments, you can never check those enough. So that's all good. Prop is fully forward. Mixture is rich. That's what we're going to do when we do the run up, but we're not going to do that quite yet. So we'll come on to that. So let's have some bits and bobs on. That is the autopilot master, by the way. It's not putting us onto autopilot, obviously, because that would be silly on the ground. Right, let's have nav lights on while we're at it. Let's have these on, pitot heat on. Let's start warming up a little bit. To get cold. There we go, flaps are now fully up, so we can put flaps to neutral. Just a bit of housekeeping to do before we start bothering ATC. Very quiet.
TAS system test OK.
You can see I've got traffic injection here, so you can see there's an aircraft over there. But there's not much else going on. I have to say the autogen around here, this is just the standard. Oh, there's a few little aircraft over there. This is just the standard scenery, and the autogen around here is abysmal. It looks like I've gone into some like 1960s Star Trek episode. Okay, so where did we get? Let's just do that. Happy with that. That's all good. We've turned those on. That is marvellous. I feel like I've forgotten something at this stage, but I don't think so. Yeah, okay, so let's, what was the ATIS? Let's lock that off, put that down there, grab a pen. The ATIS is 122.455. Transfer.
Foxtrot. Bromma Airport Information Foxtrot. 1015 Zulu. Wind 315 at 16. Visibility 10 miles or more. Scattered at 3700. Temperature 10. Dew point 02. QNH 1018. Landing and departing runway 30. Transition level 050. Numerous cranes in operation around Bromma. Advise on initial contact. You have information Foxtrot. Bromma Airport Information Foxtrot.
Interesting, the winds there are certainly less than little Navmap was giving. So that's interesting. Right, what have we got? 1018. So let's bang that in here. There we go. And I'm just checking here. So we've got the HSI here on slave, so that will match that. So we've got no drift in that at all, so just double check that again. I do tend to find I am double checking a lot. There we go, that's it. Keep the right glasses on, Robbie boy. Okay, so let's load up the flight plan. That almost sounded Swedish then, didn't it? I was about to say flight plan in Swedish. Right. Okay, catalogue. Oh, quick check of the chat in case anyone's saying we can't hear. That's good. That's good. Right, focus. Yeah, that's what happens when you import. So we are going. There we go. That's so good. So we'll activate you. Yes. Back. Let me lock that off again before I start breaking your neck. So we have got the, and I always, those of you that do this kind of thing a lot, it's probably second nature to you, but I'm always, when I look at departure or arrival names, I always look at them and think, how the hell are you meant to pronounce that? So we've got the RUSM for Zulu. So we're going to have the RUSM for Zulu. Why couldn't I have the Pete 1 Zulu? Pete 1 Zulu I can handle. Rhythm 4 Zulu, I ain't got a clue how to say that, but we're interested to see what ATC say. And the transition is resonant, so that's so good. So we'll load him up, come back. Procedure, I should say this is the TDS GTNXI I am using. And arrival is going to be the LACU 8 whiskey, which is a little bit easier, isn't it? LACU 8 whiskey, LACU 8 whiskey, and the, yeah, transition is good, so that's good, and it's runway 33, yep, that's all good. That's in there, back to here, and if I go here, we can see, yeah, that's fine, so it's got a lovely crossfill now in the GTNs, so they talk to each other perfectly. Communication, folks. That's what life's all about, isn't it? Communication. God, you can tell it's Sunday morning. Talking a load of rubbish, aren't I? So, quick check. We've got a Q&H in. We've loaded our flight plan. We have 2 engines that are working at the moment. All our instruments are looking great over there. The engines are fine. And anything else that we need to do, let's have a quick check of the temperature in here, because I want you to be comfortable. It's very important. There we go, get the right page. 90 degrees and it's warming up, so there you go. There you go. All the comforts are home in here, but not much in the way of snacks. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I think, looking at the map, there's no, yeah, I'm going to do a run-up actually on this bit of tarmac here, because there's no, I think what's going to happen is ATC is going to, the runway is just here. I think ATC is just going to get us to taxi onto the runway, backtrack a bit and then go. So I'll do the run-up over here once we get going. But first of all, we need to talk to ATC and get them to do their thing. So let's just get rid of view a second. Let's lock this off again. And have we got clearance frequency here? No, it's just ground. So it's ground on 121.605. 121.605. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, according to Navigraph charts, the crosswind is 6 knots, but I suspect it's possibly going to be a little bit more than that. As I say, I'm surprised at the winds that the ATIS gave, because that doesn't seem to correspond to, seems a bit tame compared to what I'm seeing. But it'd be boring if it was easy, eh? Right, let's go to ground. So it's Foxtrot. Where did I say we were? 63. Roma ground, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra on ramp 63, request IFR clearance. could have said to Vanta.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, Bromma ground, expect runway 30, Vesna for Zulu departure, initial climb to flight level 060, squawk 5604.
Okay, that was easy enough. Expect runway 30, Resna 4 Zulu departure, initial climb to flight level 060, squawk 5604, Golf Mike Sierra. Flight level 060, transition level 0.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, read back correct. Call me back when ready for start or taxi.
Wilco Golf Mike Sierra. So transition altitude is 5,000 feet, and we're cleared to flight level 060. So just make a note there. And she said squawk 5604, I think, didn't she? Yeah. So let's not be rude. Let's add the squawkage. There we go. That's interesting. Always used to go into standby when you tried to do that, but that's okay. It's doing its thing. So 5604, Q&H done, clearance done, squawking done, engines on, everything is looking good, he said, just before disaster struck. Okay, so bear with me a little bit. I'm just going to do a little bit of moving around of screens so I can see the chat. I'm just going to shrink you down a little bit. When we get to Helsinki, I'll say it now in case I forget, I have got some freeware scenery by Pixary is the name. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but just giving them a shout out. I'm using their scenery when we get to the other end, just to make it a little more interesting. Okay, right, we're all good to go. I think we're ready to taxi now, aren't we? Are we ready to taxi? Are we ready to taxi? Everyone all right? Should we have a quick look outside before we go? Yeah, beautiful. You can see that jet DNA. I was saying it on the stream last night. Originally, this was going to have 2 jet engines, and you can see it's got that kind of jet kind of look about it. But it is a
Golf Delta Romeo, Mike Sierra, wind check.
Wind 315 at 17.
Okay, that's interesting. I pressed a button on my controller, which is what controls my cameras, and for some reason my AI did a wind check, but I didn't ask it to. Excuse me. Next time ask, alright? Okay, right, so let's call for taxi now. Bromma ground, Golf Mike Sierra, ready for taxi runway 30. Golf Mike Sierra.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, runway 30, taxi via Yankee 4, Yankee 5. Hold short runway 30.
This is going to be interesting. Since like last night, she'll want me to repeat and repeat and repeat. Runway 30, taxi via Yankee 4, Yankee 5, hold short, runway 30, Golf Mike Sierra. Yeah, so what she's asking us to do is to tootle over here. Yeah, tootle over here, and then we're going to come around this way. Now, I, in my ignorance, would have imagined her to give Golf 1 as maybe the entry point to the active, or maybe we're just being expected to drive onto it. I'm going to go to Golf 1 and do it that way because it kind of feels like the right thing to do, and one must always do the right thing. Okay, right, quick check of the chat in case anyone is saying anything new. I will catch up with everyone, by the way. I will catch up with everyone. So, there we go. Brake check, brake's good. Oh, did it again. I still, no matter how many times, I still forget that this thing steers with switches. Okay, so I'm going to do a run-up check here. So let's, it's the sound of my knees. Let's put everything on hold right here. Right, where is it? Here we go. Let's lock it off. And your head isn't bobbing around. So, props fully forward, mixture fully rich, throttle to 1,500 RPM. Check engine instruments. Engine instruments are looking rather lovely today on this sunny morning. Check voltage, 28 is good. Now we advance the throttle to 2,100 RPM. Cycle the props. Lovely. Okay, and right, quick mag check. So we'll start over here. Good. 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 Everything is good. Gyro pressure is parfait, as they like to say. Okay, let's calm everything down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Okay, let's have head tracking back. So we've done all that, and then the next one is going to be before takeoff. Doopy 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 doo. So I will look at that because yesterday, silly boy, I forgot to put the fuel pump on. Now, very important part of our post warm-up check is a slugger T. Look at that. Are you sneaky? Just noticed my elevator trim. Because I was testing last night, I didn't do a proper close down, so my elevator trim is still in the up position from where it was last night. And although that's going to be part of our checks in a little bit, I'm just going to do that now because it's there's nothing worse than taking off with a load of up nose elevator trim on, because one minute you think I'm going to do a lovely graceful lift off from the runway and climb like a hero, and what actually happens is that suddenly your nose goes and you look like a pancake flapping in the wind, mate. Here. Now, is ATC going to say anything? I don't think so. So we actually want to go across here to Yankee 4. That's got disused on it, although I don't think, I can't see anything on there, but we're going to go enter the active and then across that way. But ATC hasn't said anything yet. So let's see what happens. Holding short, runway 30, Golf Mike Sierra.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, cross runway 30 at Golf 1. Continue taxi via Yankee 4, Yankee 5.
Cross runway 30 at Golf 1, continue taxi via Yankee 4, Yankee 5, Golf Mike Sierra. We're entering the...
Negative. Continue taxi via Yankee 4, Yankee 5.
I don't know what it is, but it with any kind of taxi instruction, sometimes it does this to me. Let's try that again. Continue taxi via Yankee 4, Yankee 5, Golf Mike Sierra.
Negative. Continue taxi via Yankee 4, Yankee 5.
Okay, let's see what the AI is going to say if I tell the AI to talk to her.
Cross runway 30 at Golf 1. Continue taxi via Yankee 4, Yankee, Yankee 5, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra.
I kind of thought I said that originally. Right, strobes and landing lights are on. And then we're just going to weak it round here. Just looking at the windsock there, straight out. No sniggering in the back there. And then we're going to do a little bit of a slalom here. Wang it round to the left. Careful with the speed. Let's not go too fast. Sunshine. There we go. So we have to use the electric nose wheel steering with the Aerostar. It's all posh and high tech for its day. And someone obviously thought it was a good idea to have this, so we're going to do that. Zip over this way. It's quite
Golf
hilly
Delta
as well.
Romeo Mike Sierra. Contact Brahma Tower 118.105.
Tower on 118.105 Golf Mike Sierra. Oh, see, when you're steering, when you've got steering on the rudder pedals, whether it's nose wheel steering via the rudder pedals or differential braking, you can do things with your hands while you're steering. But with the Aerostar, I've got to steer with my because I've got realistic. I've got to steer with the switches. Right, what was it? 118.105. 118.1. Oh, that's because I looked away. Never look away from the GTN, it finds it very rude. Transfer. Okay, everything's good. Brahma Tower, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, holding short, runway 30.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, Brahma Tower, wind and 315 at 17, runway 30, cleared for takeoff.
Copy the winds and cleared for takeoff, runway 30, Golf Mike Sierra. Okay, so we haven't got any heading to do. We're going to be going straight into the departure, and I am being highly unprofessional. And I should have had a proper look at my charts beforehand. So I'm just getting my chart sorted out, and that's what we're going to do. So after takeoff, our heading is going to be 299. So I'm just going to plumb that in there. There we go. Right, let's go. Quick check. Nothing's coming. I'm not hearing any aircraft at the moment. So it is very quiet here. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. I didn't do the checklist, did I? And where we come? Where we come? My intention was to have a good look at the checklist before we enter the active, but as it is, we'll just keep going and I'll bring it up. Before takeoff, cabin doors closed and locked, controls free, yes. Mixture fully forward, yep. Fuel selectors are on, prop fully forward, boost pumps are on, instruments check, everything's good. Radios are set, we've been talking to ATC, I'm not going to use flap. Trim is set, I checked that before. Pitot heat is on, why not? Parking brake, we will need to release that to take off. OBS, and then throttle is full forward. Okay, let's go. Very bumpy runway this. Fine. inside the aircraft.
Romeo Mike Sierra, contact Stockholm departure 120.155.
Stockholm departure on 120.155 Golf Mike Sierra.
Negative Stockholm departure on 120.155.
Contact Stockholm departure on 120.155 Golf Mike Sierra.
Negative Stockholm departure on
What's going on with my mic today?
120.155.
Contact Stockholm departure on 120.155 Golf Mike Sierra.
Negative Stockholm departure on 120.155.
Okay, let's let the AI answer because I'm not sure.
Contact Stockholm departure 120.155. Golf Delta, Romeo Mike Sierra.
Oh, was I not giving my call sign? That's a bit of a rookie error, isn't it? Right, let's concentrate on the flying. 20.155. In the chat, I don't know if you picked it up. Did I forget to say Golf Mike Sierra at the end? I kind of thought I had said it initially, but no, I'm not so sure. A little bit off course there. Stockholm departure, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra for climbing to flight level 060 on the Resin 4 Zulu departure. You won't like that.
Golf Delta, Romeo Mike Sierra, Stockholm departure. Could they identify the climb to flight level 100?
Climb to flight level 100 Golf Mike Sierra. Interesting. We're unpressurised, we have no oxygen, so we can't really go much higher than that comfortably. Lovely out there. Good God, Platty, is this actually a moment where I've made a mistake that you haven't spotted? Incredible. What's happening to the world? Keep the turning, boy. You're lovely. A nice day today in Stockholm. Okay, so we're just coming up to the transition altitude. Climbing. So we've got a bit of altitude, just need to adjust the throttle a bit. Always need to keep an eye on that. This thing climbs so well that you do need to adjust the power. Look over here. Yes, please. Thank you. Neaten this up a bit. Right, so we passed 50 and let's go. So we're now on standard. Left turn onto 27, but I can actually see it's 282, but I guess that could it be taken into account? Is it that clever? Probably. It's a lot cleverer than I am. And now we're in the clouds. So we can have fuel pumps off, and we can have landing lights off as well. Breaking through the cloud, I love this moment. Obviously it's always nicer when it's absolutely murk outside, but
Golf Delta, Romeo Sweden. Control 118.0. Bye-bye.
Hanging about getting rid of me, aren't they? So, right, that's the throttle's fully open now at this altitude. Contact Sweden Control 118.0. Good day, Golf Mike Sierra. Sweden Control Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra on the Resin 4 Zulu departure, climbing to flight level 100, passing flight level 080.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, Sweden Control radar contact, continue climb to flight level 100.
Continue climb to flight level 100, Golf Mike Sierra. I always thought you weren't meant to say 100, you meant to say 100, but maybe I'm wrong. Real pilots in the chat, now's your time. Would you say flight level 100? I vaguely remember from my ATC training in the 90s, you weren't meant to say 100, you meant to say 1, or you meant to say 1, was it 100? Something like that, but maybe that's just a distant memory. There we go. Right, how's your temperature? 27 degrees, there you go, that's alright. It's quite warm, but not too bad. We can adjust that a bit once we get up there. Okay, we're approaching our altitude now. And so what I'm going to do is... GPSS is set. I'll explain more about that in a second, and I'm going to put that onto heading, which it's already at, and then I bust through the altitude because I was waffling to you, but I'm going to put it onto, okay, I'm going to hand fly it. There we go. Smooth it out, boys, smooth it out, come on, use the trim. Let's have a little bit of finesse, please, sunshine. There we go. Right, so with that, altitude, boosh. Autopilot has the helm. Autopilot straight away gives us a little bump up, but otherwise that's fine. Very long story short, I'm just going to lean us a little bit. Very long story short, three systems at play here with the autopilot and the Aerostar, because it's got a vintage autopilot. We have our Century 4, we have our modern GTN XI, and then in between them we've got something called a GPSS, which is almost like a translator. So the GPSS can translate the modern jargon that the GTN is using and pipe it through to the Century 4 and say, you need to go this way. So that's how we're able to follow the magenta line on the GTN. But it's a little bit weird because you have to remember that you've got to have the Century 4 in heading mode and not nav mode. So to follow a flight plan on the GTN, Garmin in GPS mode, this switch here in GPSS mode, and this in heading mode. Okay, right, so that's all good. I'm going to lean the engines now using the old electronic box, because I should do, because stabilise where it is. 23 degrees, that's okay, that's fine. Although it says temperature's dropping a bit, maybe it's because we're a bit higher up, so I'm just going to move those out a little bit just to build the heat up. We'll just keep an eye on that. See the aircraft's turning now, so it's following the it's lovely visibility because you've got these roof windows. Sunroof.
Scandinavian 898, contact Stockholm approach 126.655.
Okay, let's now
Stockholm approach
press the lead button.
126.655.
So we're going to lead Richard Peak and we'll start bringing that down now ever so slowly. Ever so slowly. So it's now monitoring the two hottest cylinders. Let's keep bringing it back. Just ever so tiny movements on the mixture lever and then let it stabilise and then move a little bit more. It really is kind of fine tuning it. If you're like me, you're probably used to doing it the old school way, just looking at a standard EGT gauge and listening to the engine and that kind of thing. But okay, so left engine has found its mark. So I'm just going to, while we're waiting for the right to catch up, I'm just going to advance now ever so slightly on the left engine to get this number here, 250. There we go, so we found it on the right engine now, and we can do the same. So we'll bring those together. And once they get to minus 50, we're happy with that. And I will catch up with the chat, I promise you. Concentration of watching numbers. Right, just let that stabilise. A little bit more. Come on. There we go. All good, happy with that. Right, so quick check. Let's go to our cruise checklist now. So power is set, mixtures we've done, fuel quantity monitor, fuel pressure check is absolutely blooming marvellous. Engine gauges are looking rather lovely. So everything else down here is fine. Your temperature is 21 degrees and stable. Perfect. That's the temperature I have set in my car, so everything is looking good. Let's have a quick look outside. What a beautiful day. Beautiful aeroplane, and yeah, I think the weather ahead is going to get a little bit more cloudy, but for the time being we can enjoy a little bit of the scenery in Sweden. I'll quickly show you where we are. So let's do that. I'll just zoom the map out a little bit. Get rid of the... we can leave the chart in actually. Another charts, here we go. Maximise it. So, we're on the departure here, pretty simple. Going straight to Resna. There was no radar vectoring or anything like that, they just let us follow the departure, so which is quite unusual. I don't do a huge amount of these, but quite often they kind of give you a heading or something, I guess, but we're just cracking on. And then we'll go across the water and over into Finland. So it's pretty simple, but that's where we are at the moment. Okay, time to slurp some tea and check up with the chat. So let's lock that off. Oh, there's a lot of chat. There's a lot of chat. Where do we get to? Yeah, Alex, sorry, you said ages ago practicing ATC, but as I'm mostly flying the 500C the last few weeks, I should look into heli ATC stuff. There's two things that I need to learn. One is VFR ATC. I need to look into that, and also heli stuff as well. It would be interesting to do a heli IFR flight, but I don't even know actually if Beyond ATC can handle that at the moment. I'm not sure if it does, if I'm honest, but someone in the chat might know, then that would be fine. Just see what Tommy said. Are the engine noise is okay, by the way? Can you hear everything fine? You can hear me, but you can hear the engine noise. That's the most important thing. You don't really want to hear me. It's the engine, the environment of the aircraft that you want to hear. That's the important thing. Michael, I'm trying to send a screenshot to the wallbook page on the Discord, but it won't let me as it keeps saying file too big and asks me to buy nitro. Okay, so that's interesting. We have got the Discord server has got a big enough, or it had a big enough. Yeah, it's still there. So that you can. I can't remember what it is.
Romeo, 11 miles from SD 551. Fly present heading. Maintain 3,000 feet until established on the final approach course.
Oh, that's not for us.
Runway 32.
Sorry, ATC. Yeah, depends on the file size, I think. Depends on the file size, I think is the thing. But don't worry about the nitro thing. We've got 6 boosts, which is enough so that you can put a fair amount of file size in there. Alex makes me want to take my Comanche for a spin tonight. I hope I shut it down correctly last night. Yeah, you do have to keep your eyes open. You're absolutely right. Funny enough, with the testing I was doing last night, I jumped into the Comanche quickly, and I'd forgotten just how lovely it is. It's great fun. It feels really good, and like the Aerostar, it's just absolutely full of life. Kaiser Sausage, the name that always makes me giggle. How are you this morning? Bonjour, comment ça va? I don't think you're French, but you said monsieur, so I'm just returning it. What else have we got? What's that? Platty, well, I missed the start, so I don't know if you started the oven timer. There you go. Platty on form. No, I didn't start the oven timer. Apchi, how do you pronounce that? That's interesting. But hello to you. Hello to you. Robert, how are you doing, mate? Hope everything is good with you on this fine Sunday morning here in the UK. Okay, Michael has said flight level 100. Yeah, that's kind of, I'm sure that's what you meant to say, aren't you? Kind of seems right. Oh, Robert has said, can't hear you too well over the engines. Okay. Okay.
Sweden control, Air France 640.
This is always the difficulty. Someone will... I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Yesterday people were complaining you couldn't hear the engines. So I adjusted the mix to make the engines louder, but maybe they just didn't want to hear me. Right, I've turned the engines down a little bit, so hopefully that's a little bit better. Michael, for some reason my autopilot isn't following the flight path I gave it. It follows its own for some reason. What are you flying, Mike? Are you in the Aerostar or are you in the Comanche? Kaiser Sausage, hello, School of French on Freight. Yeah, me too. I actually work with a lot of French people. In fact, I think most of the people, quite a few French people, and it's very hard for me not to. I try and speak a few sentences in French to them just because it seems like the polite thing to do, and it's very hard. I'm always conscious of the fact that I don't want to break into like a proper theatrical kind of French accent. But you got to do an accent, otherwise you know it's like bonjour, comment ça va, my old chum. Alex, the Comanche is an experience from the time you load the flight until the end of the session. Absolutely, I guess it's the same with the Aerostar. It is, yeah. It's that same kind of DNA. It's feels very alive, and what I love about it is it bites you on the arse if you do something wrong, which is pretty cool. Just looking over the engines just to check everything's good. Michael, can it bees again? Can it bees? Almost sounds like Cockney rhyming slam for something. Can it bees? Can it bees? Yeah. Okay, let's have another look outside now that we're in the cruise. Get the zoom right. Fisheye lens. There we go. Yeah, it's an interesting shape, the Aerostar. But I am very much drawn to the tail, I don't know why. There's something quite sharp about it, I think. This does look pretty cool. And there we have, below us, Sweden, bidding farewell. Quite flat, isn't it? Be interested to come back here when the snow's around. That should be quite good. Oh, I see Streamlabs has just popped the Discord link in the chat. We've got a Discord, so do come along and say hello. Real good mix of people on there. Some Warbird people, some helicopter people, some GA people, and some people who like all three. So it's a good, good mix of virtual pilots. Great community, and you know, some really good, solid knowledge there as well, which I don't possess, that's for sure. Down here. Everything is running to plan. Ground speed 186 knots. We had a hell of a tailwind last night, didn't we? So that we're kind of seeing the effect of that, just out of interest. Let's bring the tablet up again. So one of the things with the Accu-Sim system, it's really important to say Accu-Sim is different to kind of standard MSFS and a lot of other add-ons, in that it's kind of using its own flight model and its own physics. So there's a lot of stuff going on under the hood, but you can see there we've got 34 knots. So we've got 37 knots wind at this altitude from 358, and that breaks down to a 34 knot headwind with a 14 knot crosswind component. But it's blooming cold, but you're not. Look at that. Where's it gone? Come back. Come back. 20 degrees. So it's gone down a little bit. I'll just give it a little punt to bring that out again. So let's have a quick look at the engine and see what they're up to. So as we can see, engine 1 is totally nice. You can see these the pipes here are orange, and what that is kind of symbolising is that the engine is running hot, which we would expect because we're running rich at peak. So that's absolutely fine. If we really wanted to lean it off, say we were using lean at peak, or we just did it manually, you'd see those pipes turn green, and that shows that you're running at the leanest. But you can see what your mags are doing, you can see what your manifold pressure is there, you can see what your prop pitch is there. And then you've got some other bits and pieces here, your torque, RPM, power, thrust, loads of physics. We can do that for both engines. We can also look at the electrical system just to see what that's doing, and that's all working nicely. And again, this is all alive. So if you watch the volts, it wasn't the volts, it was the amps, wasn't it? If I turn off the pitot heat, you see the draw is changing with the amps there. I'll do it again. So at the moment it's 21, 22. If I turn pitot heat off, that drops down to 17, 18. Put that back on, you can see it's got a higher draw. So everything is alive, and this is where you have to be careful. Okay, there we go. That's all good. Happy with that. Okay, let's lock it off again. another slug of tea, and I can look at the chat. Alex, on my first flight with the Comanche, I was waiting for something to fail, but all went well. After landing, I checked my failure setting, as I thought they might have been turned off, but all were active. Turns out I just flew good enough to bring it back. Alex, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. If you can bring it back in one piece and everything's fine, then you know you've done a good job. That's for sure. Yeah, it's funny. Not doing the walkarounds has bitten me a couple of times in the past in P3D, where I just couldn't be bothered. So I jump in the. I did it in the Comanche in P3D, where I took off. I did a flight, and then I want to say I was doing the approach, and I put the flaps down, and one of the flaps was broken, which I would have noticed had I done a walk around to start off with. But no, I didn't do that, and it all went pear-shaped, as we say. So it wasn't very pretty, but it just does go to show you've got to be a little bit careful. Kaiser Sausage, I'm in the Discord. Unfortunately, I don't have any knowledge though. No, but you just got a cool name, so that's absolutely fine. Crushhead just joined the Discord. Welcome, good to have you along. Air, you're basically passing over my house right now. The weather is indeed splendid here. Do you know what? I envy you. It looks lovely here in the UK, or it was last time I looked out the window. It was looking very grey and claggy, but over here it's just looking splendid. Really nice. I must get to Sweden sometime. As I say, I've been to Finland a few times, but I've not been to Sweden. But it must be beautiful. Let's lock it off there, and then you can look outside a bit. Problem. Ricardo Bonelli, get a life. I don't know if I missed something there. Guy, afternoon to you, my friend. Hope all is good with you. Michael, Texan T6. It's the same flight path you set, Rob, but for some reason it's not following it. Oh right, okay. I've got to be honest. I haven't got much experience in the standard issue T6 with this, so I'm not quite sure. Why it wouldn't be following it.
Sweden control, Skywings 2.
If you're using a GPS, if it's set to GPS mode and you're using nav on an autopilot, I don't know why it wouldn't follow it. Can't think that one through. The stick one, there is nothing wrong with the shape of the pair. That's very true. That's very true. It's unfair on the pair to ascribe its shape to a situation where things potentially could have gone wrong. One could possibly say banana shaped or apple shaped, or you could actually just say things went wrong, which is probably a bit more specific and immediately gets the information across that you're trying to say, rather than someone having to say, what's wrong with the pair? Why would he say that about a pair? What's the pair ever done to him? A philosophical question, perhaps. Why? Why would we say that? Interesting. Brushhead, need to get the Aerostar. I've flown lots of A2A aircraft in the past. They really add another. They are. Tilting my head as the aircraft tilts. What a wally! As whoever it was before, Ricardo said, "Get a life." Yeah, they are. They're something special. A2A make for the military. They make for government organisations. They are not the kind of developer that churns out aircraft after aircraft after aircraft, because they put a lot of time, a lot of love, and a lot of detail, which hopefully you can see in this aircraft. So that's kind of how they operate. But I can't wait to see what they do next. The sound of the engines outside the plane sound like a can of bees. Can of bees. I understood that, Mike. I understood that. But you're using technical terms that I can't understand. A can of bees is something I've never experienced. And it's not something I feel I should do because I could get reported to the RSPCA, but I will take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. Slick one, when was the last update on this bird? Good question. So the 2020 version actually got an update last night. There is a 2020 version now, if you didn't already know, and that new version went last night. The 2024 version that went live on version 1, so it left early access and became fully fledged. Off you go. That happened, blimey, it was a couple of weeks ago now, something like that. The Slick one, thinking of picking it up but wondering how good they are about updating it regularly. They're very good, and I'm not just saying that, they are pretty damn good. And also they've got a you can go onto the forum where they've got a Discord, but also they have a forum where you can put you can talk to technical support, and they're good at kind of picking things up, and they're good at helping. So we've now reached the ocean of cloud, so I'm going to lock it off there, so you've got something else to look at apart from just cloud. But this is it now. This is us now going into Finland by the looks of it. Be interested to see if it breaks a bit over Finland, but and it certainly looks heavier than it did on the world map, but we'll see. Tawny, like we said, P51, exactly. I would love. Everyone talks about what their A2A wish list is. If you've flown A2A, if you don't know who A2A are, and if you maybe you're new to flight sim with the MSFS 2020 and that kind of thing, you probably don't know an A2A, because they don't bang out new stuff all the time. You might not necessarily know of them, but they are, to old peeps like me who've been around for a while, they're kind of legendary for accurate, detailed, lifelike aircraft using the Accu-Sim system, which is simulating everything: the viscosity of the oil, the temperature of the oil, all the little electrical components and that sort of thing. And things can go wrong, and that's what keeps you on your toes. You can't just leave it. Like, I couldn't just leave this now.
Contact Stockholm approach 126.655.
Sorry, let me just yeah, that was nice. I've got the ATC turned down a bit, so I heard Romeo. I thought that might be us. Yeah, so it's all very much a detailed simulation, and it's what got me into A2A is what got me into taking flight sim seriously. And of course in FSX and P3D we had these amazing, we had all the GA, we had the Warbirds as well, and in MSFS we haven't necessarily had that. So if you've not heard of A2A before, I promise you anything else they bring out is going to be amazing, as is the Comanche, as is the Aerostar. So whilst you might not have a new one every week, when you do get one, you know it's worth it. You know it's going to be good. So looking forward to that. But I can't wait to see some more Warbirds from them. I hope they do. The Texan is the Spit, the Texan, the Mustang for me were the three that I loved. And there was a time when that's all I flew. I just flew, excuse me, I just flew Warbirds. And then I got into helicopters in MSFS and did a bit more GA and blah blah blah. Where the hell did we get to? Yeah, Crash Ed, the P3D aircraft was special. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Sparky, here we go. Sparky with some education. Origins have gone pear-shaped. Royal Air Force slang. The most widely accepted theory is that it originated in the British Royal Air Force in the mid-20th century. Trainee pilots practicing aerial loops often struggled to make them perfectly circular. When the loop went wrong, it could resemble a pear-shaped, hence a botched manoeuvre. See, there was science in there somewhere. There was science in there somewhere. Thank you for that, Sparky. Kaiser Sausage, yes, it's all gone pear-shaped. It's believed to be an RAF term as describing badly performed manoeuvres. Apparently, thanks Google. There you go. Alex, I want an A2A style Junkers 52. Yeah. Stuka. sorry, crash aired a Stuka in, then he said would be good. It would be interesting to fly a like a proper. I mean, one of the things I like about flying iron stuff is that, and also, by the way, the Gottfriend's Wildcat is that they have that kind of they do kind of feel alive, and it would be nice to it'd be nice to. I've never flown a Stuka in any sim or of any description, so that would be quite interesting. Where do we get to? Lone Game UK. My fave planes in MSFS at the moment are RJ and Falcon, and love anything just like do. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've not got the Vulcan. My interest in warbirds kind of stops when they start having jet engines. Although I do love the Jaguar, and I've got the Jaguar, and I need to have a look at that. I need to see what I can do with it. But yeah, Black Square until A2A launched the Comanche and the Aerostar, I was flying Black Square stuff because it is really nice. Anthony, how you doing? Yeah, it is afternoon. I can't believe it. Here was me this morning thinking I'll do a quick flight this morning, and then before you know it, it's the blooming afternoon. That's how it goes on a Sunday. Lone Game, but preferred jets and not too bothered about workload for failures at the moment. Blackbird do nice, but they still do the 24 versions. Platty, yet another example of the RAF leading the world. Absolutely, per ardua ad astra. Oh boy. Guy, that etymology must be incorrect. There is no way the RAF would make mistakes. Guy, I'm so glad to hear you say that. Fills my heart with warmth. Lone Gamer, I really like the Vulcan. Oh, Nimrod. That's interesting. Or a Victor. Yeah. Vulcan is the best plane in them. Okay. Maybe I should give it a try sometime. Maybe I should give it a try. Yeah, the Nimrod's an interesting aircraft. I remember when they were up at Kinloss. Very interesting aeroplane. Do you know what I would like? Talking of being up there, when I was in Lossiemouth, they had the Shackleton in the kind of airborne early warning role, and yeah, it's I would love an Accu-Sim Shackleton, because you've got that mixture of it's kind of post-war. It's almost like World War II, but it's not. It's post-war, a bit more technology in there, but that would be really great fun. I'd love to do that. Right. Kaiser Sauce is saying, Guy, it must have been watching. I'm not going to say that. Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying, Lone Game. Vulcan, Lone Gamer said Vulcan has such good hand flying as well as sounds. Old school, lots to learn. Just to navigating sounds to die from. I've heard nothing but good things about that Vulcan. Nothing but good things. People who fly it love it, and I almost wish that I wanted to fly it, because I'd love to have it just because it's a Vulcan. I know the history. My wife is messaging me. I must reply to my wife.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, contact Helsinki Control 121.3. Have a good day.
They're talking to me now, typical. The wife must have contacted them. She's going to tell me off in a second, not the wife, but the ATC for ignoring her. Right, come on. Switch on. Where are we? Contact Helsinki Control on 121.3 Golf Mike Sierra. Do. See, you even get a theme tune on this channel. 2, 1, 3. Helsinki Control, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, flight level 100.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, Helsinki Control, radar contact.
Good accent. of chat about the old post-war jets, or the Cold War jets, perhaps. I'd be interested, Lone Gamer, is funny, the Nimrod I probably personally, although it's kind of got nostalgic value a bit for me, I probably wouldn't get it. The Victor would be interesting, purely because the Victor is, I remember as a kid I built a Matchbox model kit. Do you remember that brand? I think you would if you're old enough. A Matchbox, I'm sure it was, yeah, it was definitely Matchbox, that I bought at an air show. Bought it at Riyadh back in the day, and I was fascinated by the shape because it was so weird. It was almost like something from like a really old black and white Flash Gordon kind of program. But yeah, there's something odd but also kind of beautiful about it. A little bit like the Buccaneer. The Buccaneer is a I've got a picture on the wall of the Buccaneer of 12 Squadron, but you can't see it. But it's an ugly beast, but it's beautiful as well. Purposeful, I think, is the word you'd probably say. Oh, sorry, Guy, you've already said I would love a Buccaneer. Yeah, absolutely. It would be great having a study level Buccaneer. Would be quite interesting, I think. Platty, divorce if you don't. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Okay, we just said in my 70s duffel coat and bowl haircut hair. Absolutely. The good old 70s duffel coat. Do you remember the Parkers? I think where I was, they used to call them, I'm sure they call them snorkel coats. But the Parker that you did up, I mean, they obviously still do them, but it was like standard issue 70s school kid stuff. Oh dear, a bit of nostalgia on a Sunday morning. Sunday afternoon, good God. What's happening to the day? They cast the Victor as the supersonic airliner in a film about a steam train. Oh, okay. Oh, I think I've heard of that film. I don't think I've seen it, but I think I've heard of that. Yeah, I don't know, Lone Game, right? I kind of like the Vulcan, but I don't know if I can be bothered to learn the ins and outs of it. I get so little sim time. I'm getting a fair bit of sim time because my wife's out this weekend, so I'm packing in some streams and doing some work with the Aerostar. I might do some helicopter stuff at some point. It might not be tonight, but I need to do some helicopter stuff. I only get a chance to do maybe 1 or 2 flights a week because of my day job. So I don't have the time to commit to. It's the same. I bought the Jaguar. I bought the Azupoli Jaguar because I love the Jag. Absolutely love the Jag. But I've not flown it once because I haven't got round to learning the ropes on it yet, which is something that I need to do. So I'll do the Jag first. I was going to put myself on a little course. I was going to send myself to Valley on the Hawk, do some flying around in the Hawk, and then go on to the Jag. But I was going to go to the Jag in Lossiemouth, RAF Lossiemouth, go on to the OCU up there, but I never got round to it. Yeah, but you're right though. Everybody loves the Vulcan. I've never heard a bad word said against the Vulcan. Yeah, the just like one I'm talking about. So, quick look around. Remember, I'm flying an aeroplane. Engine's good. Everything's fine there. That's all good. Not seeing anything silly going on. check to see that the temperature's all right for you. Don't want anyone whinging about the about it being too cold or too hot. There we go, 21 degrees, and you're green, so you're all right. Nothing to worry about. So we're over the sea now. Cloud. Yeah, it's not really breaking. I thought maybe it might break. We're just passing over. It's our nearest. I'm not even gonna. Wow, how on earth would you pronounce that? Hamsundet. H-A-M-N-S-U-N-D-E-T. I have no idea how you would pronounce that phonetically. Yeah. I was saying on the stream yesterday, talking about Norway and the language. I have been around some people from Norway in the past in a previous life, and could never pick up a word of what they're saying. It's not like one of those Latin languages where you can almost pick up a word, or you know, like with French, you can maybe pick up the odd thing. And Finnish was exactly the same. When I was over in Finland with work, you know, you'd be with a group of them during the day, or in the evening. We'd be having a couple of beers and something to eat, and when they started talking to each other, you didn't have a clue what they were saying. They could have very much been saying, "Oh, this English guy, when are we going to get rid of him? What a pain in the neck he is." Yeah, maybe that's what they were saying. That's worrying. Platty, you should totally live stream that. What would that be? I kind of, problem is that this is the problem with not keeping up with the chat. I've no idea what it was that I said that made you say you should totally live stream that. We need a laugh. Can't think what that was. Let me know. Rob, you'll have to ping me if you fly the Jag. I need to get some hours in it. I know Killer Mike also flies it. Yeah, I will get round to it one day, Guy. I'm not sure when, but I'm going to put some hours in on the Hawk, get some fast jet training in, do some flying around the Mach loop, and also flying procedures. Oh, there we go, Platter, yeah. Flying some procedures, really kind of learn the ins and outs of it, and then go on to the OCU with the Jag. And then I'm going to fly the Jag all round Scotland like an absolute maniac, and that would be good fun. Lone Gamer, I haven't seen much more about the Lancaster since it came out, and anyone got that? I not been doing so much of it. Okay. No, I haven't got the Lanc. I have not got to the Lanc. It's Hayden. Hi from Australia. Hello to Australia. Believe in that. Hang on a minute. Australia. So in Australia, it's the middle of the night, isn't it? Hello. Good to have you along. Board, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, only because you told me. Only because you told me how to say it. That's good to know. So I guess that at least I know now that if I see an A with the circle above it, it's kind of like an all. Pronounce it that way. Good to see you, mate. Hope all is well with you. We're just crossing from Sweden now into Finland. So we've kind of left your native country behind, headed into Sweden yesterday, and now we're heading over to Finland. Lone Gamer, I sneak peeked the Space 9. Yes! Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, it's funny. It's a... I like a bit of sci-fi, although I'm not a... I'm not like a Trekkie or a Star Wars nut or anything like that. I don't have... Most of my models that I have are Warbirds. Well, I say I have. I've managed to destroy. It's funny how doing VR games, you know, the full room VR games, can wreak havoc on your collection of World War II Warbirds. But I just love that design. Always did. As a kid, I had a toy one. I had a dinky toy, and I always loved the design of the Eagle. I have no idea why. And then a few weeks ago I saw it. I saw the model because I'm definitely not into building kits these days, and I thought, to hell with it, I'm gonna buy it. Why not? Okay, so it's 9:30 in Australia. Okay, so it's not too bad. Not too bad. Bruno, I don't know what you said, but obviously the old bot didn't like it, so it's retracted it. So apologies if it was something that really was quite okay. Oh, Bruno, recently brought it and I'm having trouble adjusting the cabin temperature, which doesn't seem to warm up. Okay, right, let me quickly show you. So, without going into it in detail, because to be honest with you, I don't really have a lot in terms of the detail to tell you, because the manual covers a lot of it. But to heat up the cabin, I have cabin fan and heat on down here. I've got the fan on high, and I've actually I can put that on low. I've got the fan on low, I've got the blower on, and then these two plungers here, I have those pulled out. And if you pull those out and you've got all the other switches on, you'll see the temperature change. So give that a try, and that should solve all your woes with that kind of thing. Lone Gamer, yeah, I've watched a few videos about how it was built for the show and varied from time to time, and then none about how it would act in real dimensions. Is that the Eagle that we're talking about? There's some really cool stuff on YouTube about the Eagle models. It's let me grab it. It's because some people won't have seen it. There we go. There you go. So that is a Space 1999 Eagle. So if you're a kid in the 70s, this was their kind of utility vehicle that they had. And this bit in the middle here, I really don't want to drop it because it's quite expensive. This bit in the middle was you could swap it out, different pods. This is the transport. I think this is like a human transport pod. But there's just something about the design of it that I absolutely love. It's really nice, and it looks like it could exist. I think with sci-fi stuff, if it looks like it could exist, then it makes a difference. And talking about vintage spacecraft, the other great love I had as a kid was the Buck Rogers Starfighter. Beautiful, beautiful design. That looked like it could exist in a funny sort of way. Really nice. Really nice. Yeah, I know what you mean, Lone Gamer. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, stupid camera. Right, I'll do it again. There we go. Get rid of the webcam. Get rid of that idiot. Locking it off again. I keep forgetting that you've got my blooming face in the way when I look at things down here. So, there's our temperature, as you know. That's obvious. Down here, you've got cabin, fan and heat. So those two are on. And then over here, in this area, I've got the blower on, I've got the fan on low, and then these two plungers here, got those pulled out. If you have those pulled out and you've got everything else set up, that seems to work a treat. That does the business. Okay, let's move that. Oh, he's back again. ATC turned down in my headset. Anthony, I had one of those in green. Yeah, do you know what? I never understood that, Anthony. So I just going to pull the ATC screen up so I can see it, just in case they do call me while I'm talking. Yeah, there was a green one and there was a blue one. I have no idea why, because I don't think they existed in the show. There was one with an orange. I can't remember what it was called now. It was like a fighter version, and that, I think that kind of had an orange head on it. But yeah, I don't know where the blue and the green came from. I think that was someone in the Dinky Toy product department saying, right lads, we need a range of products here, so let's just paint them different colours and no one will know, and then they'll buy the whole set. Yeah. Kaiser Sausage has said, Martin Landau and a woman who turned into a big hairy alien, I seem to remember. Yeah, she had, I think she could change into different animals, couldn't she? And she had funny eyebrows. They were like beaded eyebrows. Yeah. Michael, when is the next group flight? Very good question. Very good question. Honest answer is I don't know. It will be like a proper group flight. It will be Warbirds, and it might be next week. But unfortunately, with group flights, it's very difficult for me to plan because I never quite know when the day job and things are going to get in the way, and I don't want to let people down. So it might be this week, but I'll put it on the Discord, and then people can see it. Anthony, yeah, the Starfighter was gorgeous, as was Colonel Deering. Wasn't she just? Wow, yeah, that takes me back. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Bruno, no problem at all, mate. No problem. Yeah, LG has just said it. All boys, early crushes. Absolutely, she was lovely. And yeah, the Galactica. Anthony, absolutely right. The old Vipers. I love Battlestar Galactica. Although I remember the film. Do you remember they did a film first, didn't they? And I think wasn't the film meant to be a pilot? Or I don't know, anyway. They did the film first. And I remember being a bit freaked out when there's the bit where they discover where they take the humans. The Cylons take the humans to... It's almost into like a hive. And they put them into a wall or something. And I remember as a kid being a little bit freaked out by that. Yeah, God, that takes me back. The Colonial Vipers, and actually the more recent series of Battlestar Galactica. I liked that as well. It was a little bit more edgy, wasn't it? And the Viper design in that was really nice too. Boards. Does anyone have any problems buying stuff on SimMarket these days? I haven't had any issues, I must admit. What's happening? What kind of issues are you seeing, boards? Guy, we've still got a detachment of aircraft at Carlisle. Guy, well remembered. Well remembered. We do. Absolutely. They're sitting there on the ground. I think, yeah, I've got the Wildcat, didn't I? I flew the Wildcat on that one. Yeah, they're still sitting there waiting for us to take them. I think... I don't want to bore the people in the Discord, because I know I do a lot of flying in Scotland, and I know that although that's what tickles my fancy, not everyone always wants to fly in Scotland. And my original intention was to fly from Carlisle up to RAF Lossiemouth, up through the Cairngorm National Park, do some low flying through the valleys, but I don't want to bore people. So I might do it somewhere else, but I just love that kind of low flying through the valleys in Warbirds. It's very special, really nice. LG, yeah, there was a two-part film, there were the first two shows, that's right. The honeycombed bodies, yeah, you remember that. I used to run around with bed sheets as my cape for that. Good times, yeah, it was a good show. It was a good show. Yeah, I mean, I suppose for every kid it's the same, isn't it? But the 70s seemed to be an amazing period for kids because the TV that was on them was just... but it's very dated now, looking back on it. But at the time, things like Battlestar Galactica, Dukes of Hazzard, Starsky and Hutch, it was all very kind of... I was going to say over the top, but I don't mean over the top. Yeah, it was good times, good times. Saturday morning, waking up, watching Sesame Street and reading 2000 AD. Mad times. Yeah, you're right, kind of sausage. Saturday tea times, bless. Yeah. Oh, you had the chopper, LG. I didn't have the chopper. It's funny. My father, who was he was in the Air Force, an officer. He didn't believe in the chopper. It wasn't a proper bike. It's not a proper bicycle, Robert. So I ended up having I had the Commando. And then from the Commando I went to the Grifter, and I loved the Grifter because it felt like another TV reference coming up. It felt like a dirt bike or something like that. And back then there was a program called CHIPS, California Highway Patrol. Yeah, California Highway Patrol, and we used to get thick pieces of card, and we would attach them to our frame, bicycle frame, with a like a clothes peg or something, and stick the card into the spokes of the wheel. And as you cycled, it would make a sound like a, like a like an engine. And I also had, I was crying with laughter. I also had a siren on the bike. It was a yellow thing, like a horn shape, that you attached to your handlebars, and you had a little button, and you could have 3 different sirens on it. And I got I made a load out of cardboard. I taped a load of California Highway Patrol bike. I think they were Harley Davidsons, weren't they? I'm not sure. Taped all that to the bike, and used to cycle around with this siren on, with all this cardboard flapping around, and this thing in the back spoke sounded like a camel farting, and it was great fun until someone, and I won't mention his name, but I will always remember it, until he kicked me off my bike, ripped all the cardboard off, and California Highway Patrol in West London was no more. There you go. There's a sad story for you on a Sunday afternoon. Eric Estrada, there you go. That was him, wasn't it? What was the name? Ponch. That's right. Dread, bonjour. Comment ça va, monsieur? Should have kept it. Was probably worth a lot then in the 80s. Got a 10-gear modern race by Beta. LG, do you know what? It's funny. I was the same. My Grifter got nicked. So my dad, probably thinking I was kind of a bit older now, he went out and got me a racing bike, and it never had the same appeal to me. It became very much, maybe also because I got a bit older, but it very much became my A to B. And that's what I used to cycle around in Scotland. It was great for sightseeing and getting out to places and that sort of thing, but it never had the romance of the Grifter, if there is such a thing. Ripstop, is the yellow Sea King behind you from RAF Lost? If so, I've just bought the pilot seat from eBay. Wow, have you? So it's 202 Squadron from Lossiemouth. Okay. I'm sorry, ATC is talking, I keep listening to it. So that's X-Ray Zulu 588, which was a Sea King that was at RAF Lossiemouth, and is now actually in the hands of Historic Helicopters, who are an organisation in the UK that keeps some of these old girls running. And Guy, if he's still in the chat, Guy works for them. He's one of the engineers there. He actually very kindly, if you're on the Discord, he very kindly sent me a photo the other day of him, his hand and a note in front of that. and that was very kind of you guys if you're still there. Yeah, so it was Lossy Mouth 202 Squadron. And very quickly, if you ever want to see some really cool stuff on YouTube, apart from Dreams of Wings, of course. God, that was ridiculous. How did you let me say that, Co-Pilot Cat? You let that come out of my mouth. That was proper cheesy kind of like and subscribe kind of crap. Yeah, go onto YouTube and search for ITV Rescue, and there are a whole chunk of episodes from it was a documentary towards the end of the late 80s, and it kind of features different missions from 202 Squadron, including the Piper Alpha disaster and some other situations, and it really gives you a good idea of the kind of weather and everything that they flew in with the technology that they had, but also the mix of missions that they had to run. I don't want to go into it because you can watch it and enjoy it, but it's quite incredible the situations that those guys faced. I mean, obviously search and rescue was formed to rescue pilots who ditched in the sea, but it became something so much bigger than that, and you can see by the missions that they're running and the shouts that they get to. Of course, now unfortunately the RAF search and rescue is no more. It was handed over to the Coast Guard, so it's lovely to remember the old Sea Kings like that. And if you're new to the stream, if you haven't seen it before, a lot of the live streaming that I tend to do is flying search and rescue and HEMS missions in the high performance group H145 with a repaint of that helicopter on it, because I love it so much. There you go. And yeah, it would be lovely to have a Sea King in the sim, like a proper fully simulated Sea King. That would be something to get your teeth into. LG, you and I, it's almost like we had the same childhood. I totally agree. The chain mechanism being an absolute pain in the arse, and especially when you seem to have cycled miles from home with all your mates, and then you get somewhere and you're the chump who's standing by the side of the road trying to get your chain back on. What an absolute pain in the backside that is. Anthony, I was torn about Dinah in V. I never watched V. I never watched it, Anthony. I vaguely remember it being on. I vaguely remember I wasn't allowed to watch it, so I'm not quite sure why. Maybe there was something about it that my parents thought it was a little bit too over the top. But yeah, I never watched it. Never watched it. Anthony, the theme music of the 70s and the 80s. Do you know, you are so right. You are so right. Yeah, I'm certainly not going to sing any of them, that's for sure. But and I mean, come on, the Starsky and Hutch theme. Who hasn't? When you're of a certain age, is it the James Taylor Quartet did a version of the Starsky and Hutch theme? And who hasn't put that on in the car when you're driving to work in your sensible job? Yeah, maybe it's just me. Michael, you could do a flight through Switzerland. Yeah, we've done a few actually. We've had some really good group flights through Switzerland. But that kind of Switzerland, Austria, that whole area is just beautiful to fly through. It really is. I think it was it Orbex who did ZLMC. It was a really nice piece of scenery, but they haven't done it for 2024. What's up? It's always a bit unnerving when you've got cans on and you can't hear the outside world, and the cat, co-pilot cat, who's on her own chair right next to me here, suddenly goes like that. You're like, what's going on? Yeah, that was a really nice piece of scenery. It was nice to fly from Innsbruck to ZLMC and then up and go round up to Sunday afternoon brain freeze, where the Red Bulls are based. It's so obvious. It is so yeah, it's gone. Wow. how on earth could I possibly forget that? My head keeps wanting to say Zurich, but it's not Zurich because that's obviously Switzerland. How the hell do I... Yeah, and I can't even... Yeah, I need to put that back to where it was. Amazing. It's going to come to me any minute. Oh, Guy, no worries, Rob. 588 is my favourite now. She's not the flagship of our fleet, but she certainly gets on with the job. Yeah, good girl. And was my first seeking flight when she was painted as Marine 1. Oh, that's right. She was there as that before, wasn't she? Guy, am I right in thinking that... Right, need to start flying soon. Expect the Laku 9 Bravo, runway 04 left, Golf Mike Sierra. Was she 588 before, Guy, and then you painted her as Marine 1 and then she went back? I.e., was she actually the original 588, I guess is what I'm saying. Or have I been living under an illusion? Okay, so, we say Laku 9 Bravo. Oh, so our arrival has changed. So it's Laku, hang on, go back. Go back. Go back. Laku 9 Bravo. So let's find that, and we will change to that. I did wonder if the weather, because the weather's changeable today, I had a feeling something like that might happen. Okay, so now I need to bang it into here. So I'll proceed.
Charlie Alpha, descend to 2,300 feet, QNH 1008.
And cross-check onto there.
2,300 feet, QNH 1008, Finnair 8, Charlie Alpha.
Okay. So that's loaded in.
Finnair for Tango Hotel, Lucid for the Bravo, runway 04 left, report ready for descent.
Okay, I do...
Lucid for Bravo, runway 04 left.
Can you hear the ATC okay, by the way, guys?
Finnair for Tango Hotel, descend to 2,300 feet, QNH 1008.
Yeah, Hill Street Blues. I loved the Hill Street Blues theme tune. I never really watched the programme much, but I did love the theme tune. Airwolf, another cracking one. The Professionals. Now you're talking.
Charlie Alpha, contact Helsinki radar 119.
Now you, I love the Professionals.
Contact Helsinki radar 119.
That was such a cool programme.
Charlie Alpha.
Yeah, guys, obviously the professionals were anything but professional. Very true. It's interesting though. Lewis Collins, he went on to, he was SASTA, wasn't he? I seem to remember. So he kind of, you know, talked the talk, but he did the walk as well, or something like that. Okay, I'm caught up on the chat. So right, I need to get my head in the game now for... So, let's check the ATIS. At Vanta, 135.925. I almost forgot I was flying a plane then. You've taken me back to the 70s. That's what I love about streaming. You end up having some really good chats. 125. 135.
Finnair 5 Alpha Juliet, descend to 2,300 feet, QNH 1008.
Landing runway 04 left. Departing runway 04 right. Transition level 060. Advise initial contact. You have information uniform.
Helsinki Control, Finnair 6, Romeo Delta Airport information uniform, flight level 1203 for flight level
10 gusts 30.
Gust 30.
Helsinki Control, radar contact, climb to flight level 360.
Dew point 02. QNH climb to flight level 360. Landing runway 04 left. Departing runway 04 right.
Finnair 5 Alpha Juliet, contact Helsinki radar 119, decimal
You have
1.
information uniform. Airport Information Uniform. 1200 Zulu. Wind 330 at 17. Gusts 30. Visibility 10 miles or more. Ceiling 2,900 broken. Temperature 08. Dew point 02. QNH 1008. Landing runway 04 left. Departing runway 04 right. Transition level.
Now I've just done something very stupid. So I could hear what the QNH was, I switched the frequency on box 1, which was not a good idea, because I wonder if I've now broken the ATC. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. No, LG, I'm glad you noticed the eagle. That was a good conversation. It's always good to go back into the past. Right, so let's get things set up for this. So I need to move that back there. We're approaching Laku now. We haven't been cleared for the... Were we cleared? I don't think we were cleared for the... So we've just been told to expect the Laku 9 Bravo, runway 04 left. So we're approaching, but I did switch the frequency, so I could have done something silly. But let's carry on. That's why you've always got to be careful with these kind of ATC programs. You can do something and break it. Okay, quick look around. Engine's looking fine, fuel's fine. Happy with that. Oh, good, she's the original. I thought for a moment then I was loving the wrong lady. I must admit, having gone off the frequency and come back again, I'm going to be very relieved if ATC starts talking again. Do a quick radio check.
Golf Delta, Romeo, Mike Sierra, radio check.
Golf Delta, Romeo Mike Sierra, readability 5.
Okay. Right. Yeah, I know what you mean, LG. It's good times.
Finnair 2 Charlie Mike, contact Helsinki radar 119.1.
I guess everyone feels like this about their childhood, but life certainly seems simpler.
Finnair 2 Charlie Mike.
Come on, ATC, talk to me just so I know it's still working. That was such a silly thing to switch the frequency there. Obviously in the real world you'd ask to change frequency to listen to the ATIS, and you'd come back and they'd still be there, but I do hope I haven't broken it. Because we've only been told to expect the star, we haven't been cleared on the star yet, but we're on the star, so I'm going to keep flying it. No, I totally get that guy. I think whenever you're around historic aircraft, and obviously, you know, I think people watching this will probably understand, because you're obviously into aviation, but when you're with an aircraft that's got a past, you feel that with the aircraft, if that makes sense. For me anyway. They're just chunks of metal and plastic and wood and wiring and all that kind of stuff, but there's something about it that I think that carries with it. Hey Lewis, how you doing, mate? Yeah, no, you're right, Lewis. Although you're a bit younger than me, mate, so I don't know. Certainly back in the 70s, there was, you know, obviously no internet and all that kind of stuff. It was anyway. People always talk about it, don't they? How you were outside until the sun went down and blah blah blah. But yeah, it were good. Come on, ATC, let me know that you're alive, because I really do need to start descending. I could ask for a descent and see what it says. I just want to give it a bit of time to do something. No, let's see what it does. Request descent to 2,300 feet, Golf Mike Sierra. I've broken the ATC.
Finnair to Papa Delta, Helsinki control, expecting set for a Bravo, runway 04 left.
Is that where he's having a think about it?
Runway 04 left, Finnair to Papa Delta.
Spinnaker 1706, contact Helsinki radar 119.1.
Contact Helsinki radar 119.1, Spinnaker 1706.
Finnair to Papa Delta, set for a Bravo, runway 04 left, report ready for descent.
Set for a Bravo, runway 04 left, ready for descent, Finnair to Papa Delta.
Finnair to Papa Delta, descend to flight level 180.
Come on.
Descent to flight level 180, Finnair to Papa Delta.
I'm going to try something else. Oh, call ready for, yeah. Ready for descent, Golf Mike Sierra. Let's try that.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, Lacoste 9er Bravo, runway 04 left, descend to 2,300 feet, QNH 1008.
So on ATT mode, go into the descent. Runway 04 left, descend to 2,300 feet, QNH 1008, Golf Mike Sierra. Okay, there we are. 2,300 feet.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, contact Helsinki radar 119.1.
Now she's alive. 008, so I'm just going to do that. Try and save some time. There we go. Helsinki radar 119.1, Golf Mike Sierra. Change. Yeah.
Contact Helsinki Tower 119.7.
We're way too high. But at least it's not broken anymore. Helsinki radar, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, descending to 2,300 feet, passing 8,000 feet on the Lacu 9 Bravo arrival. What else am I going to say? And I have a cup of tea next to me.
Romeo Mike, Sierra Helsinki radar. Good afternoon. QNH 1008. Expect radar vectors for ILS runway 04 left.
QNH 1008. Expect radar vectors for ILS 04 left. Golf Mike Sierra. Right, let's quickly bang that in. ILS.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra. 6 miles from Bodom.
It's all
Turn
kicking off.
left. Heading 110. Maintain 2,300 feet until established on the final approach course. Cleared ILS runway 04 left.
6 miles from Podom, turn left heading 110, maintain 2,300 feet until established on the final approach, cleared ILS 04 left, Golf Mike Sierra. As you already said it, mate, you don't have to keep saying Golf Mike Sierra. He heard you the first time, Burke.
Finnair 1 Lima Tango.
There we go,
1 mile
let's
from
keep that
Bodom.
in.
Turn right. Heading 050.
Procedure,
Maintain
ILS 04
2,300 feet
left.
until established on the final approach course. Cleared ILS runway 04 left.
Turn right, heading 050, 2,300 feet until established.
Anyway, let's keep that
Cleared
descent
ILS
in,
runway
let's have a quick
04
look
left.
around.
Finnair 1 Lima Tango.
We've got 1008 in there, so that's all good.
6 Echo Hotel, flight level 090. We have uniform on
Fuel
board.
pumps on now. That's all good. Are you warm and cozy? Yeah, there you go.
Maintain 2,300 feet until established
You're alright.
on the final approach course. Cleared ILS runway.
Right, sorry guys. This is the bit where I have to start
Flight present heading 2,300
using
feet
my
until
limited
established.
brain cells.
Cleared ILS runway 04 left. Finnair 4 Lima X-ray.
Finnair 1 Lima Tango, contact Helsinki Tower 119.7.
Contact Tower 119.7, Finnair 1 Lima Tango.
Finnair 6 Echo Hotel Helsinki radar. Good afternoon. QNH 1008, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 04 left. QNH 1008.
Oh, do you know what you did? Okay, there we go. So, heading mode. I forgot to turn. I forgot to do the turn. What a plonker. There we go. What a plonker. I've got the heading set up, but I forgot to flick the switch.
Have a good afternoon.
Sorry, ATC. Sorry. Don't tell me off. What an absolute Burke.
Jet time 998, Helsinki radar. QNH 1008, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 04 left. QNH 1008,
I'm just reading the chat.
for ILS runway 04 left.
Lone Gamer, have you tried the JFRJ Professional, the one that's like the early Century 7? I haven't. I'm not in the slightest bit interested in tube liners. This is about as big as I like to fly. I'm just not really interested in them, to be honest. Not interested in flying them, but not really interested in investing the time to learn all the systems and everything. So I must admit, I haven't touched that.
Helsinki radar, Finnair 574, flight level 187.
Yeah, LT, you're absolutely right. There's only there's not many aircraft. I never contact developers. I never contact developers asking for freebies, so I only there is some that kind of get what I do, so they do get in touch, but I tend to buy what interests me, and so yeah. Okay, so I'm in ATT mode at the moment, which basically means I've locked it in this attitude, and now I'm just going to press the ATT override switch, for want of a better phrase, and now I can gently level us off. I bust it a little bit because I was so busy talking to you and thinking about that.
Finnair 4 Tango Hotel, 5 miles from Bodom. Turn left, heading 145, maintain 2,300 feet until established on the final approach course.
So we need that on there. I'm doing all sorts of things wrong here because I was so busy talking to you lot. First of all, I need the ILS frequency because he said when established, until established.
Finnair to Charlie Mike, contact Helsinki Tower 119.7.
and I've just gone through it. I've just stayed on the heading, sailed right through it like a complete idiot. 04, so that's on there, that's all set up, that's all good. Happy with that, happy with that. Matt.
2,300 feet, QNH 1008, vectors for the approach.
Turn right, heading 135, descend to 2,300 feet.
Absolute pillock. So, now what we're going to do is, in the hope that ATC don't notice that we've done this, I'm going to actually, let's come back.
We have uniform on board.
Sorry ATC. So,
Finnair 7 Lima Papa Heavy Helsinki radar, QNH 1008, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 04 left.
you silly
QNH 1008,
boy.
expect radar vectors for ILS runway 04 left. Finnair
So
7
what we were
Lima
meant to
Papa
do,
Heavy.
you know this because you're clever.
Finnair 6 Echo Hotel Lima.
What we were meant to do is fly over here, intercept the ILS and then establish. I just sailed on like an absolute pillock.
Heading 025, expect
Uh,
radar vectors
so that's
for
what's gone
ILS
on
runway
there.
04 left. Finnair 6 Echo Hotel. Finnair 6 Echo Hotel, turn left, heading 030, vectors for the approach. Turn left, heading 030, Finnair 6 Echo Hotel. Finnair 7 Lima Papa Heavy, turn left, heading 055, descend to 2,300 feet, QNH 1008, vectors for the approach.
So
Turn left,
our
heading
HSI is now in
055, descend to 2,300
alive for the ILS.
feet, QNH 1008, Finnair 7 Lima Papa Heavy.
Finnair for a Tango Hotel,
There we go.
contact Helsinki Tower 119.
What I'm doing is I'm kind of vectoring myself to where I probably should have been had I been following. And hello, hello, hello. Not only that, we've busted the altitude as well. I thought I'd locked it off at altitude,
Good afternoon, flight level 11.
but clearly not. So many ATC infractions there. Do you know what? It happens every time. When I'm streaming, I always say to myself, this time, when you're flying the arrival and the approach, concentrate, switch on, pay attention, forget about talking to people. And I never do it, and I always end up making stupid mistakes, which then, once you make one mistake, everything else goes Pete Tong.
Fly present heading, descend to 2,300
Okay, actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's
Finnair 7 Lima Papa Heavy.
let's have the autopilot off. Let's earn our pay.
Helsinki radar, Finnair 2 November Papa, flight level 124 with the numbers.
So there, mixture rich. Landing lights on. Fuel pumps I put on a while ago.
QNH 1008, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 04 left, Finnair 2 November Papa.
Finnair 2 November Papa, turn left, heading 345, descend to 2,300 feet, QNH 1008, vectors for the approach.
Turn left, heading 345, descend to 2,300 feet, QNH 1008, Finnair 2 November Papa.
Lovely area, isn't it?
Radar, Finnair 7 Delta Yankee.
Welcome to
124,
Finland.
uniform on board.
My head was so stuck in the 70s with TV shows that I completely forgot what I was doing, where I was, what I was meant to be concentrating on. There you go. So what I'm just trying to do now is to, you can see there, you can see we have the ILS approach loaded up with the transition point being vectors. I should have been switched on. I should have as soon as we crossed that localizer path, I should have been turning onto it. Just bust through it a little bit. There we go. So we're on the localizer now-ish. Ish being the operative. Let's get back on course. Flapping around like a drunk whale. Okay. Let's get it sorted. God for that, the ATC has shut up. It's like pieces descended. Quick look at the winds. 21 knot, wow, 21 knot headwind component, 21 knot crosswind component. Just to add to the fun. Establish on the ILS runway 04 left localizer approach, Golf Mike Sierra. Why say all those words? Yeah, he's like, okay matey, I didn't need to know all that. Okay. Okay, did serve a purpose. Tower 119.7, Golf Mike Sierra. Helsinki Tower, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, established on the ILS runway 04 left approach. Well, established in the loosest sense.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, Helsinki Tower, wind 330 at 17, gusts 30, runway 04 left, cleared to land.
Copy the winds and clear to land runway 04 left, Golf Mike Sierra. Okay, so we can start dangling Dunlops now. Yeah, it is quite windy. Let's go and have a quiet Sunday fly, they said. So must remember not to go full flap. See, we're getting blown over that away. This is going to be, I'm telling you now, all the back seat flying instructors in the house, this landing is not going to be pretty, I'm telling you now. Trim is your friend.
Helsinki Tower, Spinnaker 1706, ILS runway 04 left.
Okay, 3 greens, landing lights are on.
Spinnaker 1706,
Engines
Helsinki
are
Tower,
fine,
wind
everything
330 at 17,
fully forward.
gusts
Still
30,
need to come over
runway
here.
04
We're crabbing,
left,
but
cleared
obviously
to
not
land.
enough. So let's
Runway 04 left,
bring
cleared
it
to
back
land.
over here.
Spinnaker 1706.
I wasn't looking at the instrument, I was looking outside, so doing more of a visual approach. But if I look at the ILS, I can plainly see just how far we've deviated from the localizer. So let's bring it back. Move over this way a bit, because I have a feeling might need to crab quite a bit.
Helsinki Tower, jet time 998, ILS runway 04 left.
Jet time 998, Helsinki Tower,
fast.
continue.
Wilco, jet time 998.
Keep coming. See, I've done it again. Definitely need a lot more crabbing going on.
Finnair 7 Lima Papa Heavy, Helsinki Tower, continue.
Roger, Finnair 7 Lima Papa Heavy.
Touch more flappage. There's a kind of hush all over the world. Shut up and fly the plane, you idiot. Way above the glide slope. I need to... I'm doing an ILS approach, so I should really be looking at the ILS instruments instead of looking out the window. And we're not flying a Spitfire, so we're not doing a curved approach. We should actually be nicely on the
500.
localizer, please. Right. Now, right now, that feels like I'm too far left, but actually I can see that feels about right for where we should be. With the old crosswind. Oh, maybe a little bit more, actually. Let's kick it that way a little bit. A little bit more. Not too much. Not too much. Yeah, definitely gusty. Steady. And steer! Wow. Flaps up quickly. Windy, windy. Exit right at Whiskey Mike, Golf Mike Sierra. Right, should we get the, let's get the map up. Where is he seeing Whiskey Mike? Whiskey Mike, can I have the, come on. Come on, give me the ground. No. Oh, so many screens open, I can't see the damn airport chart. Right, let's just stop. This is very unrealistic, because a real pilot would not have to do this. Let's get rid of you. Why has my screen gone crazy? There we go. Here we go. Right, Whiskey Mike. Okay, oh that's handy.
All aircraft be advised, information Victor now current, KNH 1008.
I thought he was going to say all aircraft be advised some idiot just stopped an Aerostar on the active. So he could fiddle with his screens. Yeah, likely story. There we go, Whiskey Mike.
Fly runway center line. Maintain 2,300 feet. Finnair 6 Echo Hotel.
Let's have the strobe off.
Finnair 6 Echo Hotel. Contact Helsinki Radar 119 Air Decimal 1. Speak soon.
We can have those off
Contact
now.
Helsinki Radar 119 Air Decimal 1. Finnair 6 Echo Hotel.
Okay.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra. Contact ground 121.8.
Ground on 121.8 Golf Mike Sierra. Now the interesting thing about this airport is that it's a big one, and taxiing could well take us the next 2 hours, but we'll see. See what it says. Helsinki ground, Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra vacated the active at Whiskey Mike. You didn't need to tell it. Oh, I should have. Oh, yeah. I should have said. Okay.
Golf Delta, Romeo Mike Sierra. Welcome to Vantaa Airport. Safe parking or advise if needed.
That's what I should have said. Request taxi to ramp 311, Golf Mike Sierra. You should have told me that at the beginning.
Golf Delta, Romeo Mike Sierra. Ramp 311 Golf doesn't exist at Vantaa. Would you like to select another?
No, I didn't see that. I'm Golf Mike Sierra. Okay, let's try that again. Request taxi to ramp 311 Golf Mike Sierra.
Golf Delta Romeo Mike Sierra, ramp 311 taxi via Whiskey Mike, Whiskey Lima, Whiskey Delta, Yankee Whiskey Yankee, hold short runway 0 for right.
Ramp 311 taxi via Whiskey Mike, Whiskey Lima, Whiskey Delta, Yankee Whiskey Yankee, hold short runway 04 right, Golf Mike Sierra. Blimey. Okay, well, it's not too bad. Oh, it's easy. It looks worse than it is. Right, let's lean the engines. The fuel pump's off now. Oh, remember your steering on the bleeding switches, you pillock. Use a bit of differential braking just to get us around the corner, considering I was forgetting the switches. You'd think by now.
7, Lima Papa Heavy, Gate Whiskey for 2 taxi via Whiskey Hotel, Whiskey Golf, Golf, Papa Golf, hold short runway 04 right.
I do love that. You see,
Gate Whiskey for
so we've got the traffic injection by beyond ATC. We've got a Finnair up ahead.
Hold short runway 04 right, Finnair 7 Lima Papa Heavy.
Switches, we're going a bit too fast here. And let's, instead of getting distracted by the Finnair, let's actually try and stay on the yellow line. Seeing as we're down here with the big boys. I wonder if he's waiting for us. I would be surprised if they'd make a big guy like him give way to us, but maybe it's a safety thing. Maybe they said, listen, we saw the way this guy flew in. Okay, so for God's sake, just let him get to his parking and close down, and then we'll send in the cops, and let's just keep it safe. Airport on lockdown. Rogue Aerostar pilot. Hello. Hello, how are you? Yes, good day? Yes, excellent, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Bye. There we go. Sorry, sweetheart. I wasn't talking to you. Co-pilot Cat thinks I've gone berserk and making funny noises at me. That's alright, sweetheart. It does this every time. My monitor just decided to go into power saving mode. I'll try to. There we go. Back online. Brake. Let's not go too fast. It's going to be funny, having spent quite a bit of time with the Aerostar this weekend. It's going to be funny getting back into something like the Spitfire and using differential braking instead of using an electronic nose wheel steering. Too fast here, sunshine. Be careful, be careful. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, Vanta Airport in Finland. Right, hang on. Oh, right. Yep, going this way now. That's a runway. You can just see over here. That's the nose wheel steering switch. So as I mess around with the switch, you can see the movements that I'm putting in, and I.
Finnair 7 Lima Papa Heavy, cross runway 04 right at Golf.
Get away with
Continue taxi via Papa Golf. Zulu Golf Golf, Victor Golf, Alpha Victor, Alpha Charlie, Alpha Tango.
Yeah, do you remember that, mate?
Cross runway 04 right at Golf. Continue taxi via Papa Golf, Zulu Golf, Golf, Victor Golf, Alpha Victor, Alpha Charlie, Alpha Tango, Finnair 7 Lima Papa Heavy.
Okay. Holding short runway 04 Golf Mike Sierra.
Golf, Delta, Romeo Mike Sierra, cross runway 04 right at Yankee. Continue taxi via Yankee, Delta Foxtrot, Delta Hotel, Alpha Delta.
Blimey. Cross runway 04 right at Yankee, continue taxi via Yankee, Delta Foxtrot, Delta Hotel, Alpha Delta, Golf Mike Sierra. Sorry, I've just seen, where was it? LG. I presume LG, you're saying that because I didn't. But, so yeah, flaps I put up. So I've done that. Clean up, did that. Taxi lights we don't have in this aircraft. So the other day at night I was using one of the landing lights for that. Steering with the switch. Sorry, I don't know LG if you were answering someone else's question or if you were pointing out that maybe you thought I'd missed something. That is kind of cool. This is freeware, by the way. I did say at the beginning of the stream what it was, and see if I can. Yeah, EFHK. This is freeware by EFHK. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's like the walk of shame, this, isn't it? All those professional pilots sitting there. Oh yeah, it's him. He's the one. He's the one who just made a crosswind landing look like a demolition derby. Oh! Stop looking at the chat, Rob, and just focus on. Focus on what you were doing. Use the force. I said on the stream yesterday, it's a little bit like when flying the turboprops. It picks up speed very quickly on the ground, so you do have to be careful of that. But we've got this nice long straight. Oh! I missed my turning. That was my turning back there. So sorry, ATC. Don't watch. Where the hell are you going now? There we go, and then back again, down this way. Watch the speed. Speed's getting way ahead of me, and as a result we've just gone around there. And it's honestly, until you've done it, steering with the switches is weird. And now back up here. Oh, that's nice. Looks like we've got a nice little spot. And it looks like this is us here. According to the map. Yeah, 311. There we go. Hello, 311. There we go. Not the best parking in the world, but it'll do. Hello, everybody. Yes, we're here. Okie dokie, let's get the Scooby checklist up. And what on earth's going on here? 44 degrees, yeah. Okay, this is a very valid point. I'm getting excited about this, but this is what I love about Accu-Sim and how detailed it is. Do you remember when we were up top? It was all nice and we were all nice and toasty. And now that we're down on the ground, I am literally cooking you alive, and it's getting hotter and hotter. And so that's because I've got the heating controls the same as we had it up top, and of course down here it's warmer. So it's simulating all that. This is why you need to keep an eye on everything, even the blooming heating in the cockpit. You need to keep an eye on that. Okie dokie. Right, let's get the checklist back up again. So after landing, prop fully forward, yes. Flaps we've done. Boost pumps we've done. Trim tabs are neutral, and cabin heater off. I've just done that. So shutdown. Parking brake is set. Idle. I'm just going to lock off the head tracking so it's not quite as annoying for you. Idle, engine cool down, so we're just letting that cool, and then I'm going to be mixtures to idle cut off, magnetos off, blah 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 blah.
7 Lima Papa Heavy. Gate Sierra 49 at taxi via Whiskey Hotel. Whiskey Golf, Golf, Papa Golf. Hold short runway 04 right.
Tawny's telling me off for not putting my strobe lights on when I cross the runway. Yes, I know. There you go. BK739, yeah, we're coming to the end, mate. We're coming to the end. Michael, sounds like this taxiway's got potholes. It is a little bit bumpy, isn't it? I thought you had rubber panels. Oh, roast chicken. I am starving. I've got Domino's pizza from yesterday downstairs. Right. Okay. So let's now have the mixtures idle cut off. And we can have those off. Is that actually... Yep. For a moment then it looked like it wasn't. So that's all good. Mags are off. Fuel selector to off. Ooh. Should have done this, of course. First of all. That would have been under radio and lights. I should have turned the avionics off. That's all good. We can have the alternators off. Pitot heat off. Obvs. No lights because we're there. And battery off. And lunch beckons. And it's, what's that, 1:45. Where's the day gone? Where's the day gone? Anyway, quick catch up with the chat. Hey, Domino's. Lewis, you know, because I know you get it, because I know you love a Domino's. Sometimes when you get a Domino's the day before, and then you have the rest of it heated up on the second day, there's something kind of special about it, and that's what I'm about to do right now because I'm starving. Because I did not realise when I thought, oh, I'll have a quick IFR flight. Oh, shall I stream it? Yeah, I'll stream it. I had no idea that I was going to finish at 1:45, but there you go. Michael, it's all right cold with a NATO standard. Michael, anything is good with a NATO standard. It's amazing how far a NATO standard goes, in fact. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, enough of my waffle. So if you missed it at the beginning, it's probably a bit late to say this, but you probably realised it anyway. This is a style of flying that I don't do very often, but it's something that I'm trying to practice and get more into. So what I tend to do is kind of chuck myself in, try and pick an airport like we did here, where it's a little bit complicated. Do the whole ATC thing, try and follow the procedures, and then what I do afterwards is I think of all the stupid mistakes I made and I try and remember not to do it next time. And one of the things that I need to remember is that even when I'm streaming, I've got to keep my blooming head in the game, because when we flew that arrival, I had clearly been instructed what to do. I'd clearly been instructed to remain on that heading until I was established on the localizer, and instead I carried on chatting to you and thinking about 70s TV shows and sailing off into the distance. Oh, and that was after forgetting to change the heading in the first place. So completely cocked it up. So yeah, I'll go away and give myself a firm talking to, and then next time it'll be all good. Anyway, it's been wonderful having you along. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it entertaining. Yeah, don't forget, we have a giveaway competition running at the moment with A2A. If you go to the video from yesterday's, the recording from yesterday's live stream, it's clearly marked giveaway on the thing. Watch the whole thing if you like. There's hours of entertainment there if this wasn't enough for you. But if not, let's be realistic. Go to the end of the video and you'll see the piece where I'm talking about what the competition entails. It closes at 2100 hours Zulu tonight. So if you are watching the recording of this and it is past 2100 hours Zulu, competition is now closed. But if not, if it's before that time, then go and have a look, because those lovely people at A2A have put up 3 shiny brand new Aerostars, and you could win one of those, and then you can show me how it's done. How's about that then? Brilliant. Okay, just quickly checking the chat because I don't want to miss anything. Oh, it's a pleasure, Lewis. It's a pleasure. I woke up this morning thinking about it. The Irish Pilot, thank you for subscribing. Much appreciated. I woke up this morning and as you know, I was doing some testing last night. I was going to do a bit of testing now, and I looked at the weather, and the weather looked great, and I said, to hell with it. We're going to fly to Finland, and to hell with it. Let's stream it, and to hell with it. Everyone can see my mistakes. Why not? So, so there you go. Okay. That's it. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you on the channel again soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.